Bonjour, welcome to this new video. Today we're going to talk again about the mistakes and inaccuracies that I see in books, in French books, that everybody has to learn or blindly learns because, well, you trust books and rely on them to learn French. Yet there's so many mistakes, it's absolutely unbelievable. So we're going to go over a few of them. Sometimes they're not clearly mistakes, but they're just inaccuracies. And the first one I'd like to talk about is the word s'il te plaît. That's fine, it means please, it's informal. But keep in mind that the French will pronounce it s'il te plaît a lot of times, okay? And if you're not aware of it, I know it's hard to grasp in a conversation, but yes, the French will most likely say s'il te plaît a lot of times. Not always, a lot of times they'll say s'il te plaît, but a lot of times they say s'il te plaît. So be aware of it, okay? Number two, French books at the beginning in French one, they'll teach you to say donnez-moi un verre de jus d'orange at a restaurant or café. Donnez-moi ceci, je veux cela. Keep in mind, that's cultural, but the French do not take orders from anyone, all right? You should know that. You probably do, okay? So you always have to be polite when you make a request, you ask for something in a store, you say je voudrais ceci, je voudrais cela. So don't say donnez-moi ceci, donnez-moi cela to someone in a store. It doesn't work. It's considered rude, okay? Number three, I would like to mention the verb désirer that you have in French 1, sometimes in French 3 or 4 when you talk about the subjunctive, they have you memorize the verb désirer, which we pretty much never use, okay? So it's a waste of time, I'll say that much, unless you want to get an A in class, they force you to remember that verb. Otherwise, it's a waste of time to learn the verb désirer, we just don't use it. The only time where you would use it, or you would hear it at least, would be when a waiter comes to you and says, vous désirez? What would you like to have? Okay, the very formal set expression in a restaurant. Vous désirez? That's about it. Otherwise, you don't need that verb, okay? Next, I'd like to talk about the n'est-ce pas, okay? What I don't like is when books tell you that n'est-ce pas is the fourth way of asking a question in French. No, it's not. You don't ask questions with the n'est-ce pas at the end. Number one, you just don't, because you don't say, oh, you like coffee, don't you? In order to ask someone if he likes coffee, say, do you like coffee? Tu aimes le café? Or t'aimes le café? Right, when we speak fast, we drop that U when it's followed by a vowel. Okay, t'aimes le café? Vous aimez le café if you want to be more formal. If you speak faster, vous aimez le café? See that le turns into an L apostrophe, right? Vous aimez le café? So we just don't use that n'est-ce pas. Most of the time, it would just sound very formal, overly formal for conversational French, okay? We just say a no. For instance, tu as aimé Londres, non? You liked London, didn't you? Tu as aimé Londres, non? Or t'as aimé Londres, non? D'accord? So, n'est-ce pas, very formal. We use it less and less, I think. That's just the way it is. Next, I want to make sure everybody understands the difference between the two verbs. Rendre visite à quelqu'un and visiter quelque chose. Un endroit, okay? To visit someone is rendre visite à quelqu'un. To render visit to someone. D'accord? J'ai rendu visite à ma grand-mère. I visited my grandmother. Mais j'ai visité Londres. I visited London. J'ai visité le Louvre. I visited the Louvre. But you don't say j'ai visité Paul. I visited Paul. No, that's just plain wrong, period. People will laugh if you say that. So make sure you say j'ai rendu visite à Paul. I visited Paul. I paid a visit to Paul. D'accord? J'ai rendu visite à Paul. D'accord? Ou je rends visite à Paul tous les week-ends. I visit Paul every weekend. D'accord? Then let's talk about the verb to clean versus to clean up. That's a mistake I see in a lot of books. They don't seem to understand the difference between the two. And if you're from England or Australia, let's make this clear. To clean up, I think you say to tidy up a place overseas, okay? To tidy up a place, that would be ranger. This weekend, I'm cleaning up my place. I'm tidying up my apartment, my flat, I'm sorry. Je range mon appartement. Ce weekend, je range mon appartement. But I'm cleaning the plates. Je nettoie, from the verb nettoyer. Je nettoie la vaisselle, the dishes. Je nettoie la vaisselle. The verb nettoyer is pronounced like this. Je nettoie, tu nettoies, il nettoie, nous nettoyons, which we don't really use, right? It's new, it's super formal. The French just don't use it. Vous nettoyez, il nettoie. Hey, I heard the question. What do you use if you don't say nous? You don't know by now. You haven't watched all my videos? Okay. We say on, right? That on that you learn at some point very quickly in passing. That's what we use all the time. Get used to it. We never use nous in spoken French. It's very formal, mostly in writing. Okay? Less than 5% of the time. Less than 1% of the time in spoken French, we use nous. D'accord? Next, quickly, the adjective sympathique. The whole word sympathique. It's kind of old-fashioned. We don't use it much anymore. We do shorten it to sympa. That we use all the time. It means nice in every situation, just like in English, to talk about an atmosphere at a party, a place, a movie, a song, someone. Il est sympa, c'est sympa, c'était sympa. It was nice. D'accord? Then the adjective chouette. I see that in all books. I know everybody learns it. It's about as cool as learning how to say groovy or neat in English, okay? That was so groovy. C'était chouette. Okay, stop saying that. Okay, c'était cool, c'était super, c'était génial. De la balle, the dope. D'accord? And then one of those adjectives that I dislike the most in French books that I see everywhere that everybody learns that you should not learn, favori. Please stop saying favori, and please book editors, publishers, stop using that word favori. I think they do use it in Canada because they use a lot of English words, believe it or not, more than we do, I think. But we don't use favori all that much in French, okay? When you talk about your favorite something, we use it less than 5% of the time, I would say, okay? 95% of the time, we use the word préféré, d'accord? Mon acteur préféré, mon chanteur préféré, mon prof préféré, ma chanson préférée, mon film préféré, préféré, my favorite something. D'accord? Finally, I'd like to talk about the word interview. If it's an interview on TV of an actor, there would be une interview. C'est une interview. Possibly une entrevue, which is the word you see in books, but it's completely misused. And that might come from Canada as well. I'm sorry, I apologize, but that's just a fact. It's just a difference. In France, a job interview is un entretien. That's all there is to it. A job interview, un entretien d'embauche. L'embauche is hiring, the noun, okay? Embaucher is to hire someone, okay, for a job, right? I know you've probably used engager before, that's okay, but we mostly use the verb embaucher, d'accord? So, job interview, un entretien, an interview. I've got an interview this afternoon, j'ai un entretien cet après-midi. Yeah, I did say cet après-midi for cet après-midi, okay? That's part of the many shortcuts that we have when we speak, okay? So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it now. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to this channel and you'll get plenty more, okay? If you want more information about our self-study courses, go to language-city.com and you'll get access to all my secrets about becoming fluent in French. All of them, okay? That's it for now. I'll see you soon for another video. Salut!